The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And I will get to Maduro, his appearance in federal court with his wife, each of them claiming they are innocent to federal charges. He will be held in New York, his next court date, March 17th. But what's on my radar screen, President Trump also warning the country of Colombia. Listen carefully to what the president said aboard Air Force One.
We have a very sick neighbor. It's not a neighbor, but it's close to a neighbor. And that's Venezuela. It's very sick. Colombia is very sick, too, run by a sick man who likes making cocaine and selling it to the United States. And he's not going to be doing it very long, let me tell you.
What does that mean? He's not going to be doing it very long?
He's not doing it very long. He has cocaine mills and cocaine factories. He's not going to be doing it very long. So
there will be an operation by the U.S. and
it sounds good to me.
Senator Rubio mentioned,
Colombia, you have been warned. We have a president that may go down in history as the greatest president ever, and he is a man's man. He is no joke. Don't sleep on President Trump, Colombia. You could get the Maduro treatment. What is going on in the world? Dominic Carter here with you, 800-848-9222. So Sire Mamdani, his new tenant director, Sia Weaver. Remember that name. She says, quote, it's a clip that is going viral. This woman says, quote, we're transitioning from treating property as an individual good to a collective good. Whites especially will be impacted. Mamdani, you are a mother. Ooh, you know exactly what I'm saying, King Mamdani. We get news that the police commissioner is now going to report to the first deputy mayor and not to the mayor in terms of communications when we're dealing with all of this attacks from terrorists around the world. He was not joking when he said, Mamdani, King Mamdani, that he ran as a socialist and he's going to operate as a socialist. So the only good news in this news cycle, before I get to the doozy of a story, is Governor Dum Dum. Tim Walz drops out of the race of governor in Minnesota. And here's what Governor Dum Dum had to say.
Time when we simply can't afford more of that in Minnesota. In September, I announced that I would seek a historic third term as Minnesota's governor. And I have every confidence that if I gave it my all, we would win the race. But as I reflect on this moment with my family and my team over the holidays, I came to the conclusion that I can't give a political campaign my all. Every minute that I spend defending my own political interest would be a minute I can't spend defending the people of Minnesota against the criminals who prey on our generosity and the cynics who want to prey on our differences. So I decided to step out of this race, and I'll let others worry about the election while I focus on the work that's in front of me for the next year.
You know what's scary about all of this? What's really scary about all of this, folks, when it comes to Governor Dum Dum, Governor Walz of Minnesota? He was a heartbeat away from becoming the vice president of the United States of America. Governor Walz was a heartbeat away from becoming the vice president of America. Kamala, what does that say about you? Kamala, if I were you, I would not run again for president. It's not going to be good, Kamala. It amounted to the Democratic ticket of Dumb and Dumber. Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And Kamala wants to do this again. Please, Kamala, please, 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 please run so that we can see the vice president of the United States elected president or whatever Republican candidate emerges. Please, Kamala, please run. Governor Dum Dum, a journalist, independent journalist in his 20s, brought down Governor Dum Dum. Tim Walz is a liar, a cheat, and now we're looking at this $9 billion in corruption. So I'm going to start with this. I am going to start with this, and we knew this was going to happen. There's no other way to say this, folks. Looking at the video, it's a shadow of the largest penis I have ever seen in my life. Looking at a shadow, it is a image of the largest penis I have ever seen in my life. A woman catches a transgender woman masturbating at a Planet Fitness in California. When did things in society get this crazy? I support my friends in the transgender community. I really do. But we have gone too far. So we're so busy protecting the rights of a few in the transgender community at the expense of everyone else. You knew this was going to happen. What happens if it was my daughter at that Planet Fitness? I'm a member of Planet Fitness. What happens if it was my granddaughter who's, she's 4 years old now, but she's a few years older, and she's at Planet Fitness about to shower, and there's a transgender woman in there masturbating with the shadow of the penis and the largest penis I've ever seen in my life? Folks, we're going batty in terms of the things that is happening. So the woman that witnessed, the biological woman that witnessed the transgender woman masturbating, this is what she had to say online.
I have no idea why all of a sudden my video is blowing up on Twitter and Instagram. This happened back in May, but I'm getting a lot of questions and stuff, and I'm just going to answer and tell y'all how this went down. So pretty much I was just at the gym. I go in to use the restroom, and the shower is going, because at Planet Fitness there's showers, and the shower is going. Didn't think much of it. I go out to wash my hands, and the shower stops, and this dude comes out, okay? Literally straight up dude. Tall and just masculine everything. And he's naked and wrapped in a towel. And he goes across into the changing room. And I was kind of just in shock and just didn't really know what to say. Like, I mind my own business, okay? I go to dry my hands, I turn back around, and I see that shadow. And I'm just like, okay, there's no way. Maybe I'm just being delusional or imagining this, I don't know. So I go back out into the gym, and about 10-15 minutes later, I come back into the bathroom, and he's still doing that. Like, the shadow is still going. So I'm like, okay. So at the time, I was by myself. Both times I went to the bathroom with him, and so, like, I was really uncomfortable. I'm just glad it wasn't a minor that was in there, and saw that. But yeah, I was pretty uncomfortable, so I called my boyfriend and showed him, and he was like, yo, what the f***? And I think to myself, okay, yeah, no one's really gonna believe me about this.
So I would be concerned as well if I'm in Planet Fitness, I get out of the shower, I go to the bathroom, and there's a big man that's transgender that looks like a woman, but I know it's a man, and then I happen to look, and there's a shadow from under the stall of one of the largest penises I've ever seen in my life. I would be annoyed and upset as well. But this is what this world is coming to. You're going to tell me it's okay for transgender to read to kids in school? Why? Why is that okay? It's not okay. Let's not play these games. But let's go from bad to worse. Let's go from bad to worse. And I'll say it again. Saya Mamdani, you are a mother, and you know what I'm talking about because you're running game, Mamdani. All of a sudden, you promised free buses, right? But now you're saying that the buses will be free before you leave office. That's 4 years from now. The people that voted for you, Mamdani, they want action now, and you can't deliver now. Then let's look at Mamdani's new tenant director, Sia Weaver. I want you to listen in her own words. What she is saying here is that take property from white people to collectively share it with others?
I think the reality is that for centuries we've really treated property as an individualized good and not a collective good, and we are going to transitioning to treating it as a collective good and towards a model of shared equity will require that we think about it differently, and it will mean that families, especially white families, but some POC families who are homeowners as well, are going to have a different relationship to property than the one that we currently have.
A different relationship to property. So, Miss Socialist, does that mean I get a pass because I'm African American? Or do I have to give up my house as well for others to have that may not have a job and did not work as hard as I did? He has not been in office for a week. Oh, I called up President Trump to express my displeasure of what happened to Maduro. Excuse me, the mayor of New York City has no relationship at all to anything going on federal or what the president does. Mamdani, you are a joke. There's no other way to say it. 800-848-9222. And then the police commissioner, so she's not going to report directly to the mayor anymore. She's going to report to the first deputy mayor. What a slap in the face. I told you folks before, it's only a matter of time until Jessica Tisch decides she can't take it and she's going to quit. Let's start with your telephone calls. Mary Beth, line 3, Long Island. Mary Beth, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. What's that all about, reporting to the first deputy commissioner?
You know what it's about, Mary Beth. It's a way of forcing her to quit. You know what it's about. He won the election now. He wants her gone.
He's disgusting. He's absolutely disgusting. She's one of the best police commissioners we've had in a very long time.
Absolutely.
She's very loyal to the police. She's very, very loyal to the citizens of New York City. This is a disgrace. And if people don't see through him, how stupid can they be?
Well, I got somebody on the line right now, Mary Beth, Melvin in the Bronx. He says he supports Mamdani and he is a veteran. Mary Beth, thank you for the wonderful call. You know, folks, we are in very dangerous territory. He's been mayor for less than a week. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I think the reality is that for centuries we've really treated property as an individualized good and not a collective good, and we are going to transitioning to treating it as a collective good and towards a model of shared equity will require that we think about it differently, and it will mean that families, especially white families, but some POC families who are homeowners as well, are going to have a different relationship to property than the one that we currently have.
So if I'm at a party with this woman, Sia Weaver, who is Mamdani's, King Mamdani, his new tenant director, I'm saying if I'm at a party with her, give me whatever she's drinking because I want to be as high as a kite as she is. She just used nice words to tell you that if you're white and you own property, get ready for Mamdani. He's got something in store for you. You know, it was lingering throughout the campaign. Take property for the good of the masses. This is what the philosophy of the mayor of New York, that is his belief. You put him in office, you let the opposition candidate divide the vote, and now he gets to say, I came in with a mandate. I came in with 50% of the vote, thanks to one individual. So normally I wouldn't take his call this early. But let me get prepared for this before I do it in terms of, I'm going to go to one call in just a second. And so let's go to Melvin, line 2 in the Bronx. It says here on my screen, please tell me, Melvin, it's not true. And don't start lecturing me about history. It says here that you support Mamdani. What is wrong with you, Melvin?
Nothing wrong with me. Somebody's going to be mayor, number one. And number two, time moves on. Based on what Donald Trump did, he made a chess move. Fine. He's going to wait and see who's going to come under. Fine. So we move on. So how's your quality of life is going to improve? I suggest you take a good look at the 16th Amendment of the U.S.
Didn't I just tell you no history lessons, Melvin?
I'm talking about improving the quality of that and solutions.
Melvin, can I have some of what you're smoking and some of what you're drinking?
Dominic is done with you.
Let's move on to Peter, line 3 in Connecticut. Peter, what's on your mind?
Thank you for taking my call, sir. I was born and raised in a communist country, namely Albania. I came to the United States 38 years ago. This is my second time that I'm calling your show, and you have a great show, by the way.
Thank you.
But everything that I left behind in Eastern Europe is coming to the United States. And when I hear people talk about collectivism, this is what the communists did all over Eastern Europe, including the country that I left behind, Albania, and the root of every evil ideology, including socialism, fascism, Nazism, you name it, they use the exact same word, collectivism. What they did in 1967 in Albania, they confiscated the people's property, and they dispossessed them, and they were not able to defend themselves and do anything, to oppose the government, because the government used every agency at their disposal to make sure that they persecuted and prosecuted anything who disagreed with them. We haven't gotten to that point in New York or in the United States, but we are getting there. Unless we identify these socialists and defeat them once and for all, this evil ideology is coming to the United States. I've seen that movie from my family, and I don't like the ending of it. And I think that everyone who comes from countries like I did will tell you the exact same story. This ideology is evil and is being promoted in the United States by the elites, and it's going to be disastrous for our country.
Yes, it is, Peter. Thank you for the great call, Peter in Connecticut. You know, Mamdani says collectively, sire, should I salute you or should I bow to you? You are a joke, Mamdani. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I am so looking forward to, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, coming back to Nutley, New Jersey. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, John. My wife, Marilyn, and I will be there discussing special needs children, raising special needs children. It's the first time outside of when she appeared on the radio with me recently where we will be discussing this. So we'll get back to Mamdani's tenant director, who says that whites will be impacted the most as we move from individual good to a collective good as it relates to property. Translation, she wants to take your home. We'll come back to that. What I don't understand is California. The transgender woman caught in the bathroom of the women's restroom masturbating. And you knew it was going to come to this. If you didn't know, then you are delusional. And so I knew the story. And then I arrived at work. And the social media team showed me the video. The video is horrible because you can see, based on the ground, what's going on in the stall. And it's a shadow of the largest penis I have ever seen in my life. And a woman walked in on this. And so Patty on my Twitter, on my X, says at Dominic TV, where do I find the Planet Fitness video? Laugh out loud. I'd like to judge for myself. You know what, Patty? I hear you. We can laugh, but it's no laughing matter. I support my friends in the transgender community. But why, oh, why do you have to go into the ladies' room to masturbate? The men's room was empty. Why not go into the men's room? A. B. What are you doing pleasuring yourself in public? What are you doing? What happens should a woman walk into the woman's locker room and you're standing there with this large shadow penis pleasuring yourself? This is the world that we live in. Thank you, Biden. Thank you, Obama. I hope you two are proud of yourself. And with all due respect to President Obama, remember, you have 2 daughters. They can be at the gym working out as well, just like any other woman. I wouldn't wish that on you, Mr. President, or anybody else. But this is the reality of the world that we live in. The woman that caught this transgender woman, the biological one, I cannot believe the terms I have to use these days. The biological woman, the transgender woman, the woman that says she's a woman one day, but she's a man the next day and a cat the third day. These are the terms that I have to use. So the biological woman that caught the transgender woman masturbating, her part of the story.
Once I get that video, I go and tell the workers at the front desk. Honestly, no hate to the workers at all. They seem pretty young, and it's an odd situation. They just didn't really seem like they knew what to do. And so I show them the video. They show their coworkers, and they're just like, oh, what do we do? Eventually, they follow me into the restroom to, see this for themselves. And they knock on the door, and they're like, come out, like you see in the video, come out. And honestly, like I said, no hate to the workers at all, but they kind of just stood there and looked at him. They didn't really do much at all. They're kind of just there staring at him. And I'm just like, okay, so if y'all aren't really going to say anything, then we're going to say something. And so that's when my boyfriend is like, you're making my girlfriend uncomfortable. You're a weirdo. If they're not going to do anything, then I'm going to do something. He comes in and, starts going off because, somebody needed to say something. I'm sorry. So he kept trying to say, oh, he's transgender. He was drying off, and you could tell just by the way he was acting, he is guilty as. And I got the question asked to me if the labels for the men and women's locker rooms were clear. Yes. Big ass sign, clear as day, men, women. And my boyfriend had went into the men's locker room and there was nobody in there. Nobody in there. At the end of the day, whether you're transgender or not, you should not be stroking your in the women's bathroom, okay? That's definitely some weirdo. And unfortunately, I don't have much of an update because at the time, I was just really uncomfortable, and honestly, I kind of just wanted to say my piece and get the out of there. Looking back, I do have regrets. I should have done more. I should have called the cop.
And so, I think about my granddaughter, right? She's only 4, but give her a few years. Grandpa, I went to the gym today with mommy, and there was a woman in there with a penis that was rubbing their private part. What am I supposed to say to my granddaughter? And you know what? This transgender woman was lucky because most boyfriends, this wouldn't have been resolved the way that it was resolved in a peaceful manner. Can you imagine your girlfriend, your wife? Oh, honey, I went to the calling you on your phone. I'm scared to death. There's a man dressed as a woman in here, masturbating, pleasuring themselves. You can't leave that for home. So we go from that extreme to King Mamdani, sire, reporting for duty, sire, to Mamdani's tenant director. On tape, I don't know how old it is, stating that transition from treating property as an individual good to a collective good. And she says white people will be impacted the most.
I think the reality is that for centuries, we've really treated property as an individualized good and not a collective good. And we are going to transitioning to treating it as a collective good and towards a model of shared equity will require that we think about it differently. And it will mean that families, especially white families, but some POC families who are homeowners as well, are going to have a different relationship to property than the one that we currently have.
Mom Donnie, you are a mother. You really are. You've been mayor for less than a week, sire. And look at what you're already doing. And you've got NYPD detectives assigned to protect you, and you hate cops. You just changed the relationship where the police commissioner, Jessica Tisch, will now report to the first deputy mayor on certain communication matters as it relates to terrorism and not directly to you. What message do you think you're sending, sire? You tell me, folks. And so Mamdani just stated that his chief counsel and the police commissioner each have top clearance for briefings, but he's in the process for applying for his own. We have to hope you don't get it, sire. You are a disaster. And we have one person and one person only to thank for this, that other candidate in the race for mayor, that his ego would not let him drop out. Thank you very much, sir. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Rose, line 5, Lynbrook, New York. Rose, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. I miss you. Happy New Year. All the best for you and your family.
Thank you. Same to you, Rose.
Thank you. I just want to say that why is this man calling himself a transgender? He still has his package, his 3-piece suit, whatever you want to call it. He's not trans anything, okay? He's a psycho, and he doesn't belong in there, and that's how I feel.
And you're right, Rose. So answer for me, Rose. If you're at the gym and you happen to look down and you see a silhouette of first of all, you're in the woman's dressing room, so there shouldn't be a penis anywhere near there. And you see a silhouette of this huge penis moving the hand back and forth furiously. How are you gonna react, Rose?
I'm horrified, and I would think I would call the cops
on the spot.
Let them on the spot. Let them settle it. You know, you don't belong in here. You're not transgender anything. You're still gendered as a male. Don't come in. I don't want to be the fact checker at the door. Don't get me wrong. You don't belong in there. And that's it. And whether it's college sports, whether it's high school sports, you don't belong there. Whether it's the Olympics, you don't belong there. And that's all there is to it.
Hey, Rose, how did we get to this point? In your opinion?
I don't know. The world is just wacky. Listen, there was a former U.S. attorney who went to CNN. He did it on a Zoom call, and they considered it normal. It's a natural act. Well, he's nuts too. They're all nuts. I don't know, and I
believe you're referring to Mr. Tubin. Oh boy, who was caught on the Zoom call pleasuring himself, and went away for a little while, and then came back. And now he's an authority on the issue. CNN, dun, dun, dun. Rose, thank you for the great call. Let's go to Judith, line 4, Brooklyn. Judith, what's going on in the world these days?
It's great. Everything is great. Let me tell you, Dominic, because first of all, listening to you is very exciting. Always. I always look forward to listening to your show. I have to tell you that. As far as this private property is good, no. Private property is earned. Okay.
Yes, it is.
So this tenant director, with her collective property crap, if you apply it to white people, it is pure, unadulterated racism. That's what it is. Okay.
Absolutely.
And and so I have to tell you, someone told me, and I wonder if this could be checked. In Europe, parts of Europe, like the UK. And it could be coming to Australia and Canada, I don't know where else, they are taxing people if they have extra rooms in their apartments. And worse, some of them are being kicked out because to make room for people with larger families. So I really, it's pretty, what should I tell you? We're forewarned. We're forewarned. Because what goes on in Europe and whatever, then they try to bring it here to the United States of America. So we really have to fight. We have the Constitution. We have the laws. We have to apply them. And we can't allow this infiltration of these sick Marxist communists that have nothing to do with American values out of here. Okay,
So,
let them collect
Judith,
themselves.
But before I let you go, I'm about to go to Juliana in Brooklyn on line 2. But before I let you go, so you're at the gym working out and you stumble upon what this woman at the Planet Fitness in California stumbled upon. There happens to be a transgender woman in a stall. You look down and you can see a silhouette of this woman masturbating with her penis. Well, how are you going to react to that?
It's not a woman. It's not a woman. Oh, I can't believe you're doing this to me, Dominic. Okay, fine. I'll be mature about this. Okay. I would be absolutely furious. I would be probably a bit hysterical. I would definitely not let this go by. I would definitely go out and just call whoever I need to and say, this is unacceptable. Get this person out of here. This person is a he. He's probably a pervert. He's probably, who knows who he is. He's just having his jollies and kicks in the ladies' whatever. He doesn't belong here at all, and Judith, not even allowed to come in.
Judith, he shouldn't be. Shouldn't be doing that in public with her penis. But if you're gonna do it, why not go to the empty men's room? Because you're a pervert. Exactly what you just said.
That's right. Well, let him No, I wouldn't even let him in there. I would not let him. He's banned from Planet whatever. I would also look into him, get the police, and see if he has a record. For all I know, he's a guy that came from, they let these prisoners out left and right? How many times do we have these criminals that go in, go out, revolving door with bail from whatever? Who knows who he is? Who knows who he is? He could be a murderer too. You never know, right?
You do never know. I can't believe. So, Judith, right, in reporting on this, I don't know what term to use. I don't know whether to say she, he. If it looks, I don't mean to say it. If the individual looks like a woman, but then has a penis, then what do I say? Is that completed transgender? Judith, thank you for the wonderful call. I find myself in a tough situation. I got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to Juliana in Brooklyn and more of your telephone calls. Unbelievable. Planet Fitness, California, transgender, caught masturbating in the women's locker room, the world that we live in. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thoughts of the day.
Cali. I'm going back to Cali. I don't think so.
Oh, Kamala. Kamala. Don't do it, Kamala.
I don't think so. Cali, styling, profiling.
Oh, Kamala. Please, Kamala, don't run for president. But now that I think about it, run for president. You and your homeboy, Governor Tim Walz, look at the failure that he is. You know what? If you didn't expose him, Kamala, to the national stage, he would be cruising to an easy re-election. The world wouldn't know about the troubles in Minnesota. But thanks to you, Kamala, who put him on a national stage, the liar, the incompetent Governor Dum-Dum, Governor Tampon Tim Walz, announcing that this independent journalist, following his investigation and $9 billion in fraud, that Governor Dum-Dum is not running for re-election anymore.
Minnesota. In September, I announced that I would seek a historic third term as Minnesota's governor, and I have every confidence that if I gave it my all, we would win the race. But as I reflect on this moment with my family and my team over the holidays, I came to the conclusion that I can't give a political campaign my all. Every minute that I spend defending my own political interest would be a minute I can't spend defending the people of Minnesota against the criminals who prey on our generosity and the cynics who want to prey on our differences. So I've decided to step out of this race, and I'll let others worry about the election while I focus on the work that's in front of me for the next year.
Well, Governor Dum-Dum, Governor Tim Walz, you're done. You should have never been governor. But it is what it is. But Kamala, please run. Please run so that us Republicans can hang this around your neck. Oh, Dominic, you shouldn't use the word hang with an African-American female candidate. Okay, so we can put this around any term that you want to use, Kamala, So I'm going from that, going to Juliana in just a second. But again, I've played this several times because I can't believe what I'm hearing. King Mamdani, sire, his tenant director, Sia Weaver, says transition from individual property for the good of the collective, and white people will be impacted the most.
I think the reality is that for centuries we've really treated property as an individualized good and not a collective good, and we are going to transitioning to treating it as a collective good and towards a model of shared equity will require that we think about it differently, and it will mean that families, especially white families, but some POC families who are homeowners as well, are going to have a different relationship to property than the one that we currently have.
And you wanted Mamdani, you got him. One of the candidates wouldn't drop out. I'm not referring to Cuomo. Cuomo would be mayor right now. I would probably be trashing Cuomo right now, but it would be a whole lot better than what we're dealing with currently. Thanks to one candidate that thought the race was about him when he had no chance in hell of ever winning this race. Juliana, line 2, Brooklyn, what's on your mind?
Hey there, Dominic. It's
Hi.
Viviana.
Oh, Viviana. It says Juliana. I'm sorry.
That's quite all right. Happy New Year and a blessed one for you and your family.
Thank you. Thank you.
I am calling because I think we've reached a point in the United States where we have to make a litmus test for candidates, that they cannot be socialists. In the Constitution, it talks about private property on the Fifth Amendment, and you cannot just arbitrarily take property from a person for not a right cause. And then the 14th Amendment says that you can't.
No, I got it. I'm short on time, but there are ways around everything. I mean, look at eminent domain. So there are ways around everything. You have the final say. We have 10 seconds left. Go ahead.
God bless you. We must.
Well, thank you. Agreed.
God bless you.
Hey, I want to make this. I'm going to jump out the window on this one, please. No transgenders in women's locker room. How about that? It's real simple. Help America to never forget. Donate $11 a month and amplify your impact by donating your car or land. Go to T2T.org. I am back at 11 p.m. tonight, 11 p.m. until 1 a.m.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?